This has been eating away at me for years. Me, female 26, my partner, male 28, and his best friend, male 29, have been living together for 3 years now. My partner and I have been together for 4 years. Him and the friend have been together as platonic partners for over 10 years. They mean the world to each other, and they often hold hands or hug, calling each other cute nicknames and such. They're basically like a married couple, which doesn't bother me. They're both very important to me, and I'm glad to see them being happy together, and I'm happy with my partner as well. It's a small triad where everyone cares for everyone. I would even say it's a V-type polyamory, both of us being partners to my boyfriend, but we never discussed or said it out loud. About 2 years ago, I started developing feelings for my friend. We slowly started holding hands at times, hugging, laying together. Sometimes he even kissed my head. We never asked for permission from our boyfriend, but we never hid it. It all developed in front of him, and he never made a comment or seemed uncomfortable about it. He would often enter the living room while we hold hands or we watch a movie hugging, and he acts completely natural, sometimes jokes about it or gets dramatic, jokingly OFC, saying that I'm not even needed here anymore, and goes into his room very dramatically where we both go after him to hug him, and then we stay on his bed, everyone hugging in a pile and laughing or tickling. He would often tease us into holding hands or hugging as well. Sometimes we walk on the street with me holding hands with both of them, and they're amused and laugh at how happy I look. The friend told me sometimes that I'm a really important person to him, and he loves me in a way he can. I love both of them very dearly, and we all seem to be happy with how we are. I completely fell for the friend, while I'm deeply in love with my boyfriend as well. But it also sounds wrong or unacceptable. Some time ago, I was called a cheating wooey-ishri on the internet, just for being a woman. He made the same comment under multiple other women's comments as well, which made me feel terrible, even though I would never cheat or do anything I know my partner is uncomfortable with. But it still made me question if this is okay or if I'm doing something wrong. Thank you for listening. Edit. Thank you everyone for the kind words. I didn't expect such a positive reaction. I try to answer everyone. I apologize if I can't. There's so many. I will try to have an open conversation with both of them in the next few days to see their boundaries and to make sure we're on the same page. I won't force the conversation if it doesn't come naturally, as I don't want to force anything onto them or hurry things up, as we all seem happy with how we are now. I promise I will make an update when we have the conversation. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. It doesn't seem like an issue, but maybe it would be best if you had an actual conversation with your boyfriend about this and then the friend as well. It's important that everyone is on the same page. Then the original poster responded with, "Thank you. I will definitely have a conversation about it with my boyfriend to make sure he's 100% fine with it and learn about his boundaries. Open communication is really important." Then another commenter responded with, "Also, I suggest that you tell him to be completely honest, because those comments he makes could absolutely be nothing and just joking as you think, but it could not be. For him to leave the room even if you guys follow him after, IDK, maybe he does feel away and just feels bad or uncomfortable saying anything. You should also be extremely honest with him and your feelings and what you would like as well." Then the original poster responded with, "He teases us by being dramatic. Hard to explain without making it sound like he's uncomfortable, but he's laughing as he slowly runs away into his room where he's waiting for us to jump on his bed to hug him. Even when we're all in the living room and I'm sitting in the middle holding his hand, he teases the friend to grab my hand as well. Then he smiles and laughs at how happy I look and teases the friend for being shy and embarrassed about it. I will talk to him, but he seems genuine since he literally makes us hold hands and such. And he's just as intimate and honest with both of us as ever before." Comment 2. Had a similar situation with 2 of my old buddies. They were childhood best friends, almost a little too weird together. I came a long time ago in high school and was my 3rd best friend. They moved in after HS and one got a GF. Basically, they all became poly and shared the same girl, but without really talking about it. I remember seeing them hold hands sometimes, even though it was our friend's GIF. Until one night they had sex for the first time, and my 3rd buddy, who originally was dating her, became a little weird about it but was okay with it. Until he wanted to start having threesomes. It turns out she preferred her non-BF as the sexual partner and spent more time in the threesomes with the friend rather than him, which made him wildly insecure. None of us talk anymore. This was only a few years ago. That girl is now with the friend and not the original BF. I found the whole situation weird, but at the same time it seemed almost normal. Then the original poster responded with, "We have something similar, but without the sex part. Although I am attracted to him, the friend is asexual and me and the boyfriend both have a low libido. I'm sorry to hear their relationship ended this way, especially that they've been childhood friends. It's one of my worries too, because my people are also childhood friends and they're inseparable. I couldn't live with it if I were to turn them against each other. It is a bit weird from outside, I guess, but also feels natural. Thank you for your answer. It was nice hearing your story. Now, for the update. And if you're enjoying the video, hit that like button. I bought it for my boyfriend in one of our close, cuddly moments. The conversation went really smoothly. It didn't feel forced. He was surprised at first. He said he didn't expect me to bring it up because he thought me and the friend are already a couple and were just shy to express it in front of him. And that's why he was teasing us to hold hands and go to a restaurant with only the two of us and such. Turned out months ago the friend already confessed to him that he has feelings for me and asked if my boyfriend is okay with that and would be fine if we would get closer. He said yes, he loves us both and he loves to see us being happy together and having fun. Except this information didn't reach me because the friend wasn't 100% sure I have feelings for him and was worried that he'd ruin our friendship or make things awkward between us if he'd make a move without knowing for sure. After this, we all sit together to see how things are going, asking how to continue. My boyfriend said he's never been in a situation like this before, and he's comfortable with the idea of me and the friend being together as a couple too and doing stuff, but asked us to take it slow so he can adapt and let us know if there's something that he might not be comfortable with as we go. I learned a bit more about their past together and how they ended up like this, and if either one of them were to be a girl, they'd be in an actual relationship for many, many years now. That made me extremely sad, this being their only barrage in loving each other fully. They said they don't mind it, as they're only missing out on kissing and having sex, and neither of them is particularly interested in that anyway. I doubt we would jump into having a relationship with the friend. We'll take it slow and let things develop naturally. So for now, everything stays the same, but with more open communication and the comfort of just doing whatever without questioning it or thinking about it. Since the conversation from the other day, both of them are hyped and can't stop grinning and laughing. They are extra touchy with each other as well. I take that as a good sign. Thank you so much for the overwhelming positive feedback on my last post. I'm really happy it turned out this way. Looking forward to my future with my small triad. Comment 1. I wish you all well, but don't be surprised when things go sideways because they always do. And now you have to talk it out with two guys. You thinking you're not being judged is crazy. Good luck on your relationships. Then the original poster responded with, "You're quite a pessimistic one, aren't you? I'm not being judged by my family nor their families. I don't care about the rest of the city if they have nothing better to do. Everyone is being judged. It's unavoidable. Might as well not care. And I don't mind talking it out with my boys." Then the commenter responded with, "I'm sorry, but Reddit is full of stories about multi-lovers and relationships blowing up because that's real life. I'm guessing you're all young, so have her give you updates over time so you can learn. I was trying to give her something to think about so she prepared for future problems she may run into. Wasn't being mean." Comment 2. You ask for advice but crap on everyone who doesn't clap their hands and fully support your choice. This is just a post to validate your feelings. You aren't open to hearing anything other than people telling you you're a princess and you replying that you feel like one. Then the original poster responded with, I'm literally asking people to elaborate if they give negative feedback. Not my fault they won't. I am open to negative feedback as well and had a longer conversation with one as well. Where exactly am I cracking on someone who doesn't agree with what I'm doing? If they give me a respectful opinion, I answer them and I'm open to critics. I even ask the ones who call me a hoe to elaborate. I won't apologize for not respecting lol, it won't last long, but whatever. Elaborate. Tell me your opinion on why you feel this way. why you don't think it's a good idea, why you believe this won't work out. There's a difference. Comment 3. This is amazing. I'm so happy for you, OP. I hope that things continue to be this delightful along the way. I think this is absolutely beautiful, and I hope you three are able to cherish your time together. Now, for the next story. Did my husband use bed bugs as an excuse to cheat on me? I, female 32, have been married to my husband Mark, male 31, for 3 years. We have one son, male 5, together. I recently had to travel to another state on business for 3 days. This is common for my job, and Mark rarely complains about it. He has always been supportive of my career as I am the primary breadwinner. This time was no different. However, things quickly became strange to me after I left. I called home on the first night after I got settled in to check on them. It took a long time for him to answer, and when I asked to talk to our son, he eventually told me that our son was staying with his mother, my mother-in-law, so he could have some time by himself to relax. He admitted that after he told me that our son was already asleep. It was only 7 p.m. My trip ended up being cut short, and I was able to head home a day early. I figured I would grab takeout from Mark's favorite restaurant on the way home and surprise him. When I got there, no one was home. I called Mark, but he didn't answer. As it got late, I began to get worried, so I called Mark a few more times and still nothing. I called his mom, and she did confirm that she was watching our son, but told me that Mark had asked her to watch our son so we could go on a romantic getaway. I don't know why he didn't just tell her the truth, but I didn't think much of it because we have convinced her to watch our son by using that excuse before. I sat and watched TV until I fell asleep on the couch waiting for him. I woke up around 3 a.m. to a text from him asking what I needed and if I was okay. I asked where he was, and he just said why. That pissed me off, so I didn't respond and just went to bed. I woke up again to the sound of the door opening at about 6 a.m. It was my husband, and he seemed surprised but excited to see me. He ran right to me and expressed how happy he was to have me back home. The two of us spent the rest of the night in bed, but I couldn't sleep. In the morning, I confronted him and asked him where the hell he was. He told me that he found out the house was infested with bed bugs and they had to fumigate it. He was staying in a hotel, and it might have been unsafe still when I got home. Then I asked him why he was home so early in the morning and why he told his mom we were going on a romantic getaway. He said that he couldn't sleep at the hotel and that he just wanted to make sure his mom would agree to watch out son. He started to get very angry with me and said that he regrets coming home so early from the hotel if I was just going to make accusations. I get where he's coming from, but it still doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why he didn't tell me that the house had bed bugs. I hate to think that my husband might have cheated on me, but I have caught him sending flirty messages with a coworker in the past. He stopped talking to her voluntarily. I just don't know. Now, for a few comments before the update. If there were bed bugs, there would be evidence before you left, and you would have noticed bites, and they leave evidence. I don't know if he was cheating, but he was up to no good just checking your bank accounts and making sure he doesn't have a gambling problem. Then the original poster responded with, "My mind went right to cheating, but I will check his bank statement if I can." We had a conversation about a year ago about the money he was spending on that sports app. I haven't noticed any weird spending since then, though. Comment 2. Inconsistent story with changing details when challenged, innocent explanations after the fact, love bombs you the second he gets home, tries to turn it around on you and gets upset. If he's not cheating, he's the unluckiest dumbass on the planet. But yeah, he's definitely cheating. Comment 3. Cheating. Some things are not right. They don't normally fumigate. Bed bugs are hard and expensive to get rid of. You would have smelled chemicals if they sprayed anything. The bedroom, being a smaller room enclosed, would definitely smell. I would be petty AF. Tell him I'm leaving on business in a week or whatever and then get a friend's car and follow him. Sorry, OP, he's up to something. Now, for the update. I'd like to start off by saying how much I appreciate all of your messages and comments, even the ones that, rightfully, called me naive. These last few days have been difficult, and I am still not sure where I stand. Quite a few of you were asking for an update though, so here it is. I confronted Mark about how his stories didn't add up. It didn't make any sense that there were bed bugs because they are difficult to remove and we had no trace of them in the house. He couldn't provide a receipt for any pest control services or even for the hotel he stayed at. He couldn't even provide a simple email confirmation. I told him that until he decided to tell me the truth, he shouldn't bother showing up at the house. The next morning, he showed back up and said that he was ready to talk, but it was very difficult and he didn't know how I would react. He ended up telling me that he had a son in high school with a girlfriend who was already over 18 and could provide for herself. He was 17. She decided that it would be better for both of them if he wasn't in the son's life. However, when his son turned 13, she gave him the option to contact his dad, Mark. This was about a year ago. Mark told me that he met his son and they have spent time together every time I went out of town. He said he didn't tell me because he wasn't sure if his son would change his mind and push him out of his life. He wanted to make sure it was a permanent thing before giving me such a big thing to cope with. I originally thought the story was even more far-fetched than the bed bugs, but he had text messages with the son and even pictures together that were dated on days that I had been on a trip. He told me that since I knew, he could ask his son if he would be interested in meeting me and our son. I still don't know if I would want to meet him. I am still furious at how much Mark has been lying to me, but I do know that aside from that, he is a very attentive and supportive husband. I also don't know how I would have acted in his shoes. It's a lot to take in. As of right now, I'm not sure if I should forgive him. If he lied like this now, what would stop him from lying again in the future? I am thinking about suggesting marriage counseling to work through these issues because I do love him and it would be unfair for our son to grow up without his father. Is there anything else you all think I should do? Comment 1. I'm still getting secret second family vibes, just a little bit. Like other commenters said, it feels like you have half a story. Comment 2. I read your original. His current story is easy to validate and I'd make sure you do that. From there, counseling sounds like your best option. There's probably a lot going on in this for him. And although that doesn't justify the lying if I were in your shoes and really wanted to be with him, otherwise this would still all be fixable. Comment 3. My question would be, where did he spend the night you came home? If he can't produce receipts for a hotel, does that mean he stayed with the son and his ex? If that's the case, I think there may still be more to the story that he is omitting. That may be the reason he didn't want to tell you about the son. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day. Have a great